You, Chair Buckley, and honorable members. My name is Vivek Datla, and I'm an IDRA Education Policy Fellow testifying against Senate Bill 12 on behalf of the Texas Legislative Education Equity Coalition. We're a statewide coalition of over 38 organizations and individuals working to improve public education with a focus on racial equity. We're particularly concerned about Section 5 of the committee substitute, which would prohibit schools from engaging in any practices aligned with diversity, equity, and inclusion principles. The language is vague and overly broad, and it could prevent districts from acting on disaggregated data to address disparities in student outcomes that are based on race, sex, color, or ethnicity. Federal law, as we know, requires all states to identify and address educational disparities, and TEA's Closing the Gaps accountability reporting, for example, helps fulfill that obligation in Texas, and the gaps are significant. According to the latest Texas academic performance reports, 50% of Black students and 58% of Latino students graduate college ready, compared to 70% of white students and 88% of Asian American students. These disparities show that Texas schools need to take targeted action to close racial gaps in educational outcomes. But Section 5 could block schools from acting on this type of data. Its broad restrictions on activities that so much as mention race, sex, color, or ethnicity strips educators of potential actions they can take to close gaps and support the students who need them the most. Equity-focused efforts do not promote preferential treatment. They provide schools with resources to implement interventions that have a particularly profound impact on the students who are experiencing disparity. SB 12 threatens that level of support. It ties the hands of educators through far-reaching restrictions on activities and risks deepening opportunity gaps. We urge you to reject this bill and support policies that empower schools to address disparities and improve outcomes for all students.